Today on the channel, we got a special unboxing, and I had to bring my dad over for it. From the NECA Tooney Terrors line, we've got the one, we got the only, we got the Svengoolie.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another NECA Tooney Terrors unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got a special guest, my dad. Dad, say hello.
Hey, hello.
And we've got the one, the only, the great Svengoolie. But for all your Svengoolie needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. Got to get a deal out there. And we don't do a whole lot of Tooney Terrors here on the channel. I can tell you for sure this is my dad's first go around with these Tooney Terrors. And Dad, you got two of these for your collection, correct?
But Rich Coe's is the centerpiece of the monster and horror film genre right now.
Right now, for sure.
Everything floats around.
So,
Rich Coe's and Svengoolie.
So if you're a Creature from the Black Lagoon, your Universal Monsters, all that stuff, would you put him on the same shelf in a display, kind of around those guys?
Absolutely, he'd be out front.
He'd be out front with them. So my dad, myself included, but you're even a bigger fan, but I'm a big fan too, of course, Svengoolie, and he's on metv, and they even got the logo here. That's branding. So, of course, Svengoolie, I guess let's start, let's set the main course.
You know, you have to be appreciative of the fact that he writes all the dialogue, all the jokes, and he does, you know, he's a great stand-up comedian. He does impersonations. He can do impersonations. But Pee Wee Herman is a great impersonation that he does. He writes these songs to existing tunes that coincide with what's
always
going
my
on
favorite part.
Yeah, and he does that with his old buddy from high school band, Doug Scharf, who is Doug Graves on the show. But if you look at all the dialogue, and obviously he's got a lot of corny jokes, that goes with the territory. And
not too much different than this channel.
No, exactly like it. And self-depreciating humor, he's got all of that. But seems like a regular good guy and very entertaining. And
he loves rubber chickens, too. We see that all the time. And go up to Berwyn, Illinois. We hear about that all the time on the show. And I've been through that town on my travels, my work travels. And one of these days, we're going to get you and Svengoolie together for a photo op. What do you think about that? I think we're going to look into that. Maybe this fall, we'll see if we can get that happening there. But Svengoolie, a favorite of you, a Saturday night staple, if you will.
Well, you have to have traditions. And this goes back to the early days when I was a kid.
Perfect. You set it right up. That's where I was going.
64, 65, you'd watch the local creature feature horror film, and they had some Svengoolie-like people on there.
So setting the table, every area had a different Svengoolie type thing. Now, what was the one you grew up on? What was his name again?
It was called Gravesend Manor. It was here in central Iowa, and it had Malcolm the Butler, who was bald-headed. They had a comic Dracula figure, and then a comic kind of I wouldn't call him a hunchback, but he had a beard and he was scruffy and kind of followed the commands they would give him, and entertaining and done on a low budget. But it was, you know, you watched it as a kid, it was a tradition just like now. It's a Saturday night tradition.
In a lot of areas, it was like the local weatherman. He was the character, or it was the radio.
Yeah, it was a sports announcer, the weatherman, and I don't know who.
Just a hokey kind of thing, you know, to give a little thing. But back in the day, you had like 4 channels, so it was must-have viewing for little kids at the time. I mean, there wasn't all the options. And now, like everything, unfortunately, you could say radio, almost anything, TV, everything has been decentralized. Where way back in the day, everything was in your own area. I mean, you cared about the world, but you cared about what was going on down the road and stuff. Now, it seems like everything is big, and the local stuff has disappeared, including all these horror hosts. I'm not even sure if there's any of these horror hosts left on a local basis. I don't really think so. Obviously, Svengoolie is the one. He's the left. He's the WWE. He's the Vince McMahon. He bought up all the territories. Who knows? But that's kind of how it went. He is the one, and now he's on metv, which he was local Chicago for a long time, of course, and then he was like the second Svengoolie, right? Wasn't that how
he was? There was a guy named Jerry Bishop that was Svengoolie for the first 3 years, and then Rich took over.
Have you ever thought about writing a book on Svengoolie?
No.
Yeah, you might be able to. You could be his biographer.
He's written his own book.
Oh, yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
There you go. Well, we got to get you that
book. He's got
book.
his own museum. He's got
it going.
Sure.
But you know what's going on here. So he is the second one, and he's the last remaining host. And I believe metv is nationwide now. It's like over the air, free and stuff. So it really brought him from just the central Midwest to the rest of the world.
Push him to the top.
I'm sure there's people in New Zealand that are watching this. That is probably possible. That
I'm sure.
for metv and stuff. And shout out to New Zealand. One of these days I'm going to go there. You know, that's I don't know.
That's where they filmed Lord of the Rings.
That is true. There's hobbits there, and you know that's my plan. I'm going to fly all the way to New Zealand one of these days, and the Bushwhackers were from there too. One of your favorites as well. I remember we used to go to the wrestling shows as a kid. You'd say, "Man, I hope this is the show where the Bushwhackers lick my head." You always said that.
I think I said I can't imagine anything more ridiculous than what I've just seen here.
But we can all agree their finishing move where he would grab his by the head, they do the battling ram.
No.
That was a finisher. He hits you with that, you are done. Those Bushwhackers. And unfortunately, Bushwhacker Butch just recently passed away. Did you hear this?
That, yeah.
And I was there over in L.A. when that happened. He was supposed to be for an event, and he forgot to take his medication and died right there.
Well, if
he
stayed in New Zealand, he wouldn't have that.
That's what they said. He wanted to really see the fans one last time, and he didn't even get to. That's
Bad
unfortunate.
things happen in California.
Bad things happen in California.
Even to Butch.
It's a dangerous place. Butch didn't make it out alive, unfortunately. Hard times. Hard times for Butch. Shout out to Butch. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to the Bushwhackers. There it is. But
they're the boys.
We're of course, Dad, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And I'm sure we'll have some Svengoolie talk. Now, Tooney Terrors, when I think of them, I remember the first series that came out. There was like Jason looking kind of Scooby-Doo-ish. There was Freddy Krueger. And Emma, my daughter, you're aware of her. She was actually just down here showing us that she lost a tooth. So shout out to Emma. Shout out to that Tooth Fairy. How does Tooth Fairy afford this life anymore? I don't know how he does. And the Tooth Fairy is a boy. It's me. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But where are we going with that? I don't know. Anyways. But
the Tooney universe.
There you go. The Tooney universe. And Emma used to collect these. And she's a big horror fan, of course. And I remember one day we were like, do you want this little Barbie toy or do you want the Jason Tooney Terror? She was all in on the Jason Tooney Terror. So I said, boy, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right. But I don't know if she knows Svengoolie quite yet. Maybe she will. Maybe she will. But you got Svengoolie down here. You got Svengoolie in all of his glory. Rubber chicken in tow. Tooney Terrors at the top. Quite the toy line, this Tooney Terrors. Of course, San Diego Comic-Con, they announced some new ones. And then just as of we're filming this right now, New York Toy Fair is going on. And they announced a Murder, She Wrote Angela Lansbury in the Tooney Terrors line. And
oh, wow.
I immediately said, this could be jumping the shark.
When's that coming out? I can't wait.
Not soon enough.
Man,
and I remember Murder, She Wrote. I remember spending the night at my grandparents' house, and they would watch Murder, She Wrote, which is kind of on par. I mean, that and Matlock. I mean, the old people love those shows.
It was kind of an Agatha Christie kind of spin-off.
I've seen 100 episodes, because it was on reruns, it was on USA, and it would be on before Raw sometimes, and I just remember just watching it, but now that I think about it, I don't think I could sit through one episode of that. I don't think I could.
I never did.
I just don't understand how she was old. Yeah. Like, how old do you think she was?
70s, 80s.
I felt like she was like 100, and maybe it was just because I was little, but I was like, if she does stop or solve a mystery, like, the guy's going to push her over and she's going to break a hip or something, you know? It's just... Boy. I don't know. I never identified with Angela Lansbury. Did you?
No.
Did you ever say that? Angela Lansbury, one of my favorite actresses of all time.
I didn't.
Was there ever any talk on the old schoolyard about Angela Lansbury when you were a kid?
You know, her high point was when she was Mame on Broadway in that Broadway show.
I don't even know what that is.
Then it kind of, when you trickle down to Murder, She Wrote, you're kind of on the back end of it.
I only know her from Murder, She Wrote, and I think my wife told me she was in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
I think she played the Beast, is my guess. I don't know. She could have. I don't think
that's true.
I don't know, but I don't get all the hype. But somebody probably says the same thing, like, Kyle, I don't get the hype when you watch The Man with Two Heads 10 times.
No.
So, to each their own. To each their own. But there it is, Svengoolie right there. And then on the back, very cool, you can cut the back out there. You got Svengoolie, and there's his casket, right? And, of course, he starts the show in that casket.
Exactly.
Could we get a deluxe set with the casket?
I think that's already out.
So it is, and we'll get there. But you would buy one from NECA though. Anything Svengoolie NECA puts out, you're picking up, right?
You never know. Probably.
Okay. Well, and now this is a perfect time where this isn't the only Svengoolie figures you have in your collection.
No.
You have Figures Toy Company, which makes a lot of different figures. You have a couple of Svengoolies from that. Isn't there a glow-in-the-dark one?
No, I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
There's a bobblehead, and there is a couple figures that they made along the
They're
way.
kind of like the old Migos of back in the day, the
right.
soft kind of body and stuff, and that's what those are.
And real kind of real hair.
But I did see this week, and I let you know this, but our friends at Super 7, all Super 7, shout out to Super 7, use code KYLEP at checkout for Super 7. But Super 7, good people over there doing good things. Have you seen that Cat Slayer?
I have.
Oh boy, just wait. You can help me put that together when that comes.
Monumental.
It's going to be a monument out in the front yard. It's going to be, oh, what's Kyle and his Cat Slayer there? But Super 7 did announce this week. They showed, of course, they're showing a lot of stuff that's coming out soon. They did show an image of Svengoolie. So it looks like we're going to get Super 7 reaction figures of Svengoolie. Those are those 3 3/4 ones. It would be nice if they could get an Ultimate Edition. That would be really cool. They got to see how well the reactions sell. So it's all up in the air. If you want a Svengoolie Ultimate, you want my dad to unbox an Ultimate Svengoolie, well, what you're going to have to do is buy a lot of those reaction figures is the way it's going to need to go. But on the back here, it does say, bring the fun of Saturday morning cartoons to your horror collection with these adorable little creeps. Pick your favorites or collect them all and make every day Tooney Terror Time. And I always try to make Tooney Terror Time every single day if I can. But Svengoolie looking good here. Without further ado, we're going to bust him out of the package. And this is one of those delicate unboxings because you don't want to
rip the back.
If you want to save the back, which I don't know if I need to save it, but we'll see. I might play that offline a little bit here. Well, we got a little background in there too as well. So Svengoolie, and that's the old Svengoolie. It looks like there. He used to wear like a handkerchief around the neck there. See you later, Svengoolie. Bye. And then we get the plastic prison. There he is, Svengoolie, looking only like a Svengoolie could look if he was in the Tooney Terror line here in 2023. Can I cut him out? Well, that's the million-dollar question. Did you have any trouble getting him out of the package?
No. All the twist ties are on the back.
There it is. See you later. Put a little spin on it is what I did right there. But there it is. There's old Svengoolie. Svengoolie. And definitely looking interesting. Looks like him all day long. If you're familiar with who Svengoolie is, you know exactly who this is.
It's a combination of two names, Svengali and Ghoulie.
Oh, there you go. He's a
Svengali
Svengoolie.
was the ancient mystic and psychic.
Yep. So looking good. I mean, it is kind of a statue action figure. It's more of a statue. You do get articulation on the arms, go all the way around. Oh, you get a little bit of side-to-side on the head. Nothing on the waist, nothing there. He does have peg holes on the bottom. Will he fit on a ringside collectible stand?
I'm sure he will.
Oh, look at that. So you get a little extra stand right there.
Match.
Black to match. I think that works out pretty good. If you need a stand, I could send you home with one.
All right.
Thanks to our friends at Ringside Collectibles, I could send you home one right there. But he fits perfectly on there. But he's got his little sport jacket on there, red shirt underneath. He's got his chicken
chicken pendant.
Yeah, chicken pendant, a little are those rosary beads? Is that what that is? I don't know.
Partially.
And then he's got a little, I don't know what that guy is, a little skeleton there on his jacket there looking good. Yeah. He's got a hand up because he's friendly. He's friendly. He said, hey everybody, welcome to the show. Of course, you got the chicken. He's ready to throw the chicken if need be. Good friend of the channel, Cody Rhodes. You know Cody. We've talked to Cody before. Cody, good guy. Cody at WrestleMania, I was there at... WrestleMania this year out in California, and Cody lost, unfortunately, to Roman Reigns. It was a tough night at the office for old Cody Rhodes. We thought he was going to do it. He'll do it eventually. Shout out to old Cody Rhodes. But somebody threw a rubber chicken into the ring. He was beat down after the match and got hit with a rubber chicken. So then there's all these pictures here of him down and out in the ring with a rubber chicken next to him. And I think, to bring it all back here, I think Svengoolie was there in the front row and threw that chicken at Cody Rhodes. So somebody needs to fact check that. I'll ask Cody.
I've really never seen Svengoolie throw one. They throw them at him all the time.
That is true.
That's why he can escape into the casket to avoid getting beaned by a chicken.
You got a point. I've seen him hold a chicken, but I've never seen him throw the chicken.
No, he just blocks them.
He blocks them. Yeah. Whoa.
So I'm sure he didn't do that.
It probably wasn't him. And Svengoolie's a wrestling fan. I was just watching it last week.
Well, he's had a lot of wrestlers on. Jerry Lawler was a big one that he had off and on.
Yep, and he was trying to get Jerry in the studio, and Jerry said he'd do it, but I've never seen him in there. So I don't know. But he had Jerry Lawler on there. I think Danhausen was on one time. Shout out to old Danhausen. I got Danhausen right here.
Well, they did a song called the Svengoolie Stomp.
And that
Freddie Boom Boom Cannon. And in that music video, Jerry Lawler was stomping on a chicken.
I did see that. I actually saw that. And that guy loves Svengoolie, and he wrote a song about him. And we're doing our part here. We're doing a video about it.
Mick Foley has been on many times.
Yes,
so
there's been a few. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank, but I know there's been a few different ones over time on there. So Svengoolie, big wrestling fan. He could be in your wrestling collection if you need him to be. Who knows? Who knows? But a good-looking figure. He's got the black top hat on as well. Got the black around the eyes. He's got the mustache and the goatee. I don't know what the painter's goatee. What do you call that thing? Definitely an interesting look, no doubt about it. Got a blue pocket square. We love a good pocket square. I wouldn't be caught dead with a pocket square, but you maybe at one time or another.
I've had a few.
He's had a few. But looking good. It just looks like a cartoon representation. It's one of those things. This is fairly cheap. It's around $20 or so, give or take. Great to fit on a desk display at work, in your horror collection, whatever you want to do. If you're a Svengoolie fan, you got somebody that's a Svengoolie fan, this is a great little gift for them. It's not going to break the bank. Looks really good. Displays really well. Of course, the Halloween season fits in for that. There's just a lot to like about this Svengoolie one. And the minute this was announced, I couldn't get a hold of you fast enough. I said, Dad, you're not going to believe what they're coming out with. And same thing with the Super 7 stuff. So maybe the Svengoolie stuff will be on a roll. We'll get out there, and we'll be shouting out Svengoolie a little bit more on the channel. We'll see what happens. And he's not very far from us, so we need to find the next signing he's at, and we got to get you in the car. I know you don't like going to the car. You know, my dad's 6'8", so he doesn't like to travel. You know, that's what happens when you get older and you're a bigger guy. You know, travel is just looking under the giant. He'd have to take 2 seats.
Well, I traveled a lot, and I've had to take 2 seats.
Yes, it's tough when you're 6'8". It's a 5'9" person's world is what it is. It really is. It's 5'6", 5'7", something like that. Even me, I have long road trips in my company car, and I'm like, gosh, and imagine being your size trying to do it, but we'll get you there. We'll get Svengoolie and you together one of these days. We'll get a video and a picture. Easy for me to say. Oh, won't that be the one? So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can make that happen one of these days, sooner rather than later. So there it is, the old Svengoolie Tooney Terror. Any last thoughts from you on this one?
No, good. Good caricature, kind of cartoonish figure, but looks just like him.
Looks perfect. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, as they do say.
It is good.
There you go. So there it is, Svengoolie Tooney Terror. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to both YouTube channels. We got 2 YouTube channels going, so make sure you subscribe to both of them. My dad's doing a lot of features over on that second channel. So I'm
on the second channel?
Not yet. You will be. One of these days we will.
What an honor.
Oh, what an honor. That's just, you never thought you'd see your life here, but here we are. Here we are. But check out both YouTube channels. Make sure you subscribe to both of them. Don't forget to like this video, as I did say. And don't forget about the Patreon for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, dog stuff, pizza stuff, Svengoolie stuff, you name it. It's all going on over there at the old Patreon channel. Your best way to support the channel and all the madness it does bring. You can also support channelprowrestlingtees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. For Svengoolie and my dad, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.